of Poland, and winter is not to be missed. Winter sports like skiing are mostly centered on the mountain ranges in the southern part of Poland. But there's plenty of ice skating too. All the major cities have ice skating rinks, and the usual chilly winter means that ice skating on lakes, or even sometimes rivers and streams, is possible. Winter in Poland also means long walks in the forest, followed by warm fires and cozy atmospheres indoors, with a special beverage of your choice. It's a good time to spend with your friends. Wintertime in Poland is also good for tourism because there are a lot less people around. Hotel accommodation is easier to be had, and prices are generally lower. So join us for this special edition of Poland Daily Travel in the studio, where we're talking about things to do in Poland in the winter, with my guest, Nicholas Richardson. No relation, as usual. Poland Daily Travel. We're here for you. Find us on Facebook at Poland Daily Travel or Poland Daily Live. That's Poland Daily Live on YouTube. And if you're not too busy, please subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. I'm Will Richardson, and now on with the show. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another stirring 2020 version of There's a Will. This is a special edition, also combining with Poland Daily Travel. That's my travel show that some of you may have seen. My mother likes it. At least she says she does. And joining me in the studio will be Nicholas Richardson.
Hi, Will.
You're looking resplendent. Did you have a good holiday?
Not too bad. I went to England for Christmas.
You went to England?
It was very nice. Yeah. See my father. And
how are things in old Blighty?
Well, everybody seems jolly happy, actually.
Yeah, they were good?
It seemed fine, yeah.
Anything to report? Was Santa Claus good to you? What happened?
Santa Claus hasn't been good to me for a number of years, of course.
No, I know.
No, but we had a very nice Christmas.
Yeah, I just got that big thing of switches and some coal.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly, I told Santa Claus, I said, stop bringing me coal. It's bad for the environment.
Yeah. Well...
he never listens. He's a jolly fellow.
No, my father in the house has real fire, so we burnt a lot of coal, you'll be pleased to know.
You burned a lot of coal. Okay, I'm very pleased to know. I should have joined you with my bag.
Exactly. No, it's very nice in the winter in England.
They keep piling up. I don't have any. I can't in my tent down by the river. I can't burn.
No, well, you don't
coal?
You don't want to set the canvas on fire, do you?
No, not really.
You'd be tentless.
I'd be tentless. Yeah. Then I'd have to fork out and get a new one. I'm not going to do that.
Well, maybe the viewers will take pity and send you a tent.
Send your. I'm collecting for my tent that I haven't burned down yet, but I will soon. Please send your dollars to care of this show. Under what's that place called? Under the
Arches.
No, that's the next place to go. Never mind. Forget what I said, folks.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be best.
We're going to talk about winter in Poland.
Yes.
Not just winter, because it's not a weather report.
No.
We're going to talk about things to do in the winter in Poland.
Well, I think this winter, you actually could probably go sunbathing because it's remarkably warm.
Yeah, I've
winter.
never seen it like this.
It is frighteningly warm. In fact, there's no snow.
There's no snow.
And yesterday was like, or the day before yesterday rather, was like a spring day.
Yeah.
And it was probably as warm here as it is in the seaside in summer. So
yeah, it was. I've seen days in July
that are colder
that were 11 degrees.
I know. It really is remarkable.
In Poland, especially on the Baltic.
In all the years I've been in Poland, and in Warsaw in particular, the snow is less and less each winter.
It's less and less.
And it's noticeable, and that's in human terms, that's a very short time.
There's definitely some warming going on.
There's something, the climate, or the weather at least.
Whether it's a short trough or it really is the long thing, we don't know. We're not scientists.
Well,
something's going on.
I remember at school being told we had to prepare ourselves for the next ice age. Because if you speak to scientists, global warming and the next ice age are in actual fact not incompatible. Because with global warming, you affect the Atlantic conveyor, so you actually affect the warm currents coming to northwestern Europe. So in actual fact...
Scott, I didn't know you were a meteorologist.
Well, I'm not a meteorologist.
You wear a lot of caps.
I know, but there's such a lot you read such a lot about how the world's about to end. I mean, it's actually quite hard to find
The world's not going to end.
I know that. But
the planet's not going anywhere.
But
we are.
We might, and the insects will take over.
Yeah,
but there's so much written, and there's so much in the media about this stuff, and yet you often think, well, a lot of it seems to be pushing a particular agenda rather than just trying to give us the objective science and then let us make some conclusions. That, I think, is the confusing thing. Everybody has a slight agenda. And really what you need to know is, or would like to try and find out, is what really is happening. And then you can draw some conclusions.
Yeah, but it's too politicized. I mean, obviously something's going on. How much we affect it, we still don't know, because the weather is just too big for us. We can't control it, let alone, we can't understand it,
let alone
control it.
There's a certain arrogance and suggests that we can actually control these things. I mean,
yeah, it's ridiculous.
And you look at all this pollution, which
we can't even get along together.
A couple of volcanic eruptions put so much into the atmosphere in terms of dust and dirt and its effect on weather that really, you and I, you're using one carrier bag less.
I know. This is what I was thinking of, all these, and sunbursts and all these kind of things.
I mean,
it'd be
good to try to find out exactly how it really affects. And so you actually then make some sensible conclusions based on proper objective data. That would be my wish.
Well, I agree. The weather, and we have to talk about it because it is winter in Poland. You expect a lot of winter sports. But I can tell you, I haven't been here every winter, but over the last decade, I've been here a lot.
Over the last 20 years, I have been in Warsaw.
You have been, okay.
And this is definitely the warmest.
It's definitely the warmest.
And so far, we've seen no snow in Warsaw. And we're into halfway through January. Now, I remember my first winter in Warsaw, 20-odd years ago, and the snow arrived in October and sort of hung around till March, more or less.
Yeah.
And then the sun arrived in April and hung around till October.
Yeah.
And the climate was very dry, as you'd expect from a continental climate in the summer. Now, Warsaw in the summer is a lot more humid than it used to be.
It's pretty humid, isn't it?
So these are changes in my short time. And if that's a change,
it was very hot and dusty in Warsaw.
Yes, but it was hot.
It's not anymore.
Great heat is okay if it's dry heat. It's the humidity that makes you feel more uncomfortable.
I know.
And similarly in the winter,
I've been in the desert.
I know
more than once.
And similarly in the winter, if it's very cold, it's actually not uncomfortable. It's cold. If it's minus 20, it's fine. But if it's minus 3 or 4 and damp, that really is chilly. And so something has changed, even in Warsaw.
I think so, yeah. And I can say even the sounding a bit like a weather report, but in the park, I live, in right next to a park. That's right. And it's usually from January through February, and there's snow.
Yeah, exactly.
On the ground the whole time until March, generally. And not a sausage. I haven't seen a snow flurry. And last year, I wanted to say, when we started Poland Daily Travel a year ago, a little more than a year ago, and you were on some of those early adventures, it was snowing every time we went out.
I remember. Yeah, exactly. So
every time we went out.
Something has definitely changed.
Yeah.
So the first thing you can do in winter in Poland is see the changing weather.
Yeah, but from one year to another, there can be an extraordinarily
but this has
warm year.
But in my experience, this has been a gradual trend.
It's a gradual trend.
Ever less snow in winter in Warsaw.
So now you can come to Poland and have summer and winter.
Exactly.
Well, not summer, but spring anyway.
Well, it's only spring, which of course will confuse all the plants. They'll start flowering, and then no doubt will be.
But it's happening in the States too.
Yeah, it happens in England as well.
My mother was telling me that the daffodils were coming out in Asheville, North Carolina, which is in the mountains.
Yeah.
Well, or mountains, as you say in England.
Mountains.
You just say mountains?
No, we say mountains.
You like to pronounce everything in England. Mountains.
Mountains.
No, that sounded like Alfred Hitchcock or something. You know?
Yes.
Yeah, and what a name. Think about it. At any rate,
you have a weird way of thinking.
No, well, watch too much cinema, obviously.
Yes, you do.
No, if you had to name 5 places, only 5 places.
Only 5. Yeah.
If you could only name 5 places to go in the winter in Poland, what would be your short list?
Well, I think Zakopane, obviously, is the classic one.
Because it begins with a Z, and that's the last letter of the alphabet.
I've been awkward. I'm working backwards.
You're working backwards.
No, but that is, I think, is the winter.
Yeah.
And also summer places. It is the winter town that people immediately think of when they think of Poland in the winter.
Yeah. So Zakopane.
Zakopane.
Let's hold with that. Let's hold with that. All right, everybody. Come back for the next after this. Come back, and we will talk about Z-Town, Zakopane, one of Poland's fantastic winter destinations.